everyone, it's Catherine here from Ingy Finger Cat. I am running behind on a project and I had completely forgotten about it. Should have done it about 2 weekends ago. Never mind, I'm doing it now. So I donated a postcard art swap sometimes on Facebook that my friend Alison runs. The theme is hares and bunnies because it's nearly Easter and hey, that's the time of the bunny. And I thought I would use, actually thinking that way round, do a portrait one. I thought I'd use this Art by Marlene die cut that's come from this book of die cuts. And I would also use some Art by Marlene papers. So I have already cut to size, well, I've actually cut it for slightly smaller, so it's just under 6 by 4 inches. It's 5 3/4 and 3 3/4, with the intention that once I've done this I will then mount it on another. It just gives it a nice sturdy finish. So I decided to make my life a lot easier by just using my craft knife rather than grabbing a cutting tool, a trimmer. So my thought is to do that, maybe a bit of white. I'll have to fussy cut this because I don't like the white outline. Maybe a bit of white in the background, don't know, but well, let's just get this stuck down. So yeah, I'm running late. This needs to be done by the end of the month and that is in 3 days time, so I need to get it done. And then tomorrow, probably on my lunch break, I will get it in the post. I'm not sure when this will actually be put on YouTube. I've had a bit of a day today. I've done a couple of videos, things in advance as well as things that are going out today. So I've got a lot of editing to do. So this might not actually go out until sometime in April. But I'm actually filming it ahead of, got that slightly off there, so it's slightly more to that side than that side, but I think the trimmer will sort that problem out. Doesn't matter if it goes down slightly smaller, because as I say, I am going to mount it at the end with a slight border. I made that look easy, didn't I? Just to give it some strength and finish it off. Right, I think we're going to ink the edge. That's the starting point. Let's give it a bit of a border for this artwork and also make this paper more my own. I love these Art by Marlene collage papers for just making your life easy. I've had them for ages and I've suddenly started using them quite a lot. I use them to cover the journal I did a flip through video for yesterday. Just love them because they're basically, she's already done the job because they're a nice thin paper. You don't add bulk when you're adding them into projects. So how are we all? Hope we're all okay. It's weird when you've filmed a couple of videos because I've sort of already spoken to you about what's going on today, but you won't see that for a while because I've got to edit it and then work out when I'm scheduling that post to go on my blog, and then obviously making it live on YouTube. So it's a bit weird when you film multiple videos, but I've had a day of it today where I've thought I'm going to stick the video on and record a few YouTube videos. It's weird, isn't it? For months I've completely and utterly didn't ever think to put the video on and film anything, and then completely, well, I think it was about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, I neglected my YouTube videos and my channel, but I'm quite into it at the moment. Quite enjoying crafting, having a bit of a natter to myself. I think that tells us that Catherine's a little bit mad. But yeah, having a little chat to you out there in the the great beyond of the YouTube world, and documenting how I'm crafting. So yeah, had a bit of a renaissance. Oh, that's so cute. I mean, it needs something, obviously, in addition. Oh, my fingers have swollen up. And my ring has started to pinch. Put a bit of cream on my hands. There we go, I can take it off now. Oh, yeah, just leave my fingers are swollen up. I must be getting warm. I am, I'm quite hot. Right. What shall we add? I'm thinking we might go and get some white gesso. Oh, throwing it across the floor. Fortunately, the lid is nice and secure. Yes, some white gesso and a little scrapey credit card. That'll do. I don't want to get rid completely of all that gorgeous colour, but just tones it down a little bit, and then I'll add some thicker patches and a bit of texture. Let's do that. Okay, well, we need that to dry clearly before we do anything else with it. Set that to one side to dry. I think we might need to slightly ink up our bunny edge just to give him a bit more definition. Find the black tool. I know you can wash these little sponges, which I do occasionally. Apologies if I've just wobbled the camera. But I usually keep at least one of them that's always for my black soot, because that's one of the ones that I use quite often, along with one for vintage photo, which is randomly already on my pet desk. But yeah, another one that I use quite regularly. And I like doing this when you've got a die cut or something that you've fussy cut. It makes it look less cut out, which sounds random. But yeah, if you get rid of the sort of the white edge of the cardstock, it feels like the panel or the piece or whatever it is becomes finished, as opposed to just something random you've cut out. And also, I don't know if you noticed there, but there was a little bit of white that I'd not quite cut as close as I should have done. And now nobody knows, because it's all been inked and it all becomes part of the same piece. So how are we feeling about that now? Yeah, that looks better. So I love the fact that it was those sort of like tulips in the background, but now you don't necessarily know that they were tulips, but it works really well. I think I'm going to give this a little bit of a hand in drying, put my heat tool on it in order to just move on and get on to the next stage. So I'm going to pop you into silent. Okay. I'm very tempted to do some sewing. Very tempted to add some fabric, some kind. I feel like I want pink, but I don't think I've got anything pink that's the right colour pink. Maybe I want Hessian. Maybe a bit of Hessian. Does that work? No, don't like that. Maybe I could dye this pink. I suspect we're going to get to the very, very mucky fingers stage if we do that. Which, you know, doesn't bother me at all. I am, after all, Inky Fingered Cat, and I think well, my hands aren't too horrific. They're a bit yellow on the edges from another project. I think we might need to just cut that down a little bit. Oh, sorry. This is the problem when you've got your camera clamp just above where you're working. I'm still thinking stitching, but I'm wondering whether to do something with that to make it pink. What to do to make it pink? I mean, I've got some dillusions, but I genuinely don't want everything to be absolutely bright pink. Maybe I go for some distress stain. Well, there we go. Yeah, I've definitely got smurf fingers now. Right, to dry this. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see there, but I actually started to burn the fabric by accident, but that's okay. I can cope with that. If I can cope with smurf fingers, I can cope with slightly burning the fabric. Yeah, that works better. I like that. Right, I am going to have to do the sewing off camera because the sewing machine literally sits right where the camera is, and I need to move the camera out of the way in order to do it. So, I mean, really, it's a good job that I'm working from home these days, so people don't see that. Don't think that's going to come off easily. It's definitely going to need my craft scrubby. Right, so I will see you on the other side of a little bit of string. Okay, I'm back. I've done some messy sewing and super happy with that. I think he's going to stick down nicely. Oops. When I say messy sewing, definitely there's something wrong with my sewing machine, which happened on a video I've already filmed today, but that's not going to go out for a while. So I definitely need to do something about that. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing, but it's got something wrong with it. But you know what? It's still sewing. It's just only doing messy stuff, and it ends up looking like that on the back. But that's absolutely fine because the intention was always to mount this on another piece of cardstock. So I think actually, whilst I think on, I will cut that other piece of cardstock to a size, and then I'm good for mounting it when I'm ready. And I need to have a think about what we want as the, see, that's going to look really nice like that, isn't it? What we want as maybe a sentiment or something. Have a little look and see if there's anything in here. Ooh, also, do we want to use maybe a couple of those hearts? They're quite cute, aren't they? Maybe one. Quite like the swirls as well, but might be going a bit overkill. So I have got a sticker book actually as well from Art by Marlene. Craftiness is happiness. I don't think I've got enough room for it on there. Ooh, quite like the little green hearts actually. Wonder if they work better. or maybe that blue one that's already sort of half lifted, like that. Okay, I'm going to use that one instead. Don't dance and stars. No, don't want any of the sentiments that are in there. Let me grab my sticker book and see if there's anything else I want to use. Okay, loads of quote stickers, so I'm just going to grab the whole stash. I think there is actually one that might even have Eastery phrases in. There we go. What's the say? Seasonal. Rabbit, cute. Cottontail. Oh, I could add a cottontail. I could add some, I like a little pom-pom. Like that. Dum, dum, dum. Right, is there? Yeah, so this set's really cool because it comes in both the white and the craft, and given that I've put it on like a crumb cake background, I think that'll work. I'm thinking just adding some of these around will work nicely. Hopping. Maybe there. I think rabbit will work as well. So it's just coming out from that fabric there. There we go, that'll do beautifully. Right, let's do something with this part as well, and then we want to do maybe find a cottontail. I'm wondering, I've definitely got pom-pom trim. Let's turn it into a, oh, or I've got like that snow stuff that you stick onto glue. That might work. Okay. Not doing a brilliant job of cutting this heart out particularly well, but when you take your little blending tool, this is what I'm saying, do this when you fussy cut something. Doesn't matter if your fussy cutting's not very good, because the ink covers all that up. I'm thinking that's really cute there. Yeah, let's stick it down and then go see if I can find my fluff. I want to use the fluff, I think, rather than a pom-pom, because the pom-pom will be a bit proud and I want to send this through the post as is rather than in an envelope. See, like I said, I'm going to go and do that, but immediately I started instead grabbing my pen, doing a bit of outlining. I'm super happy with this little card. It's so cute. I can't believe I've left it until the last minute to do this as well. I'm so not been organised this month at all. Okay, that didn't take long to find. It was exactly where I thought it was going to be, which is good. So this is Fuzzy Fun Flock. So what we need is for this little tail to be coated in gloopy glue. And we're just going to stick, oops, can't seem to pick it up, a big old wodge of that on it. Now some of that won't stick and it'll be fine, it'll come off later, but just need to now be careful not to knock it whilst do something with this heart. I feel like the heart needs a bit of white on it, and then I'm going to go for my usual favourite, a bit of glossy accents to just give it a bit of dimension. And some shine. I always feel it turns them into a proper embellishment rather than just a bit of cardstock. I do love doing this. I sometimes just punch little hearts out of cardstock, and it just makes such a difference when you put the glossy accents on them. They just turn into cute little embellishments. So I'm going to try and keep that as flat as I can in order to add it to this. I'm thinking that this needs a little bit of a dark edge too. I might write the back of the postcard. Oh no, I can't do that because it'll have somebody's address on. That's a silly thing to suggest, Catherine. I might have to wait here. So I probably will do the rest of it off camera, just because I do need to write the back of the postcard, then I need to glue it down, but I can't do any of that until those two things have set. So I did that in the wrong order. That was a bit silly. But I'm really pleased with what I've done, and I think it's finished. I don't think I need to add anything else. Hope you enjoyed that. That was good fun. Slightly panicked induced in terms of realising how late I was and the fact that it was the end of the month next week. But never mind, got there, happy with what I've done. Hopefully the recipient likes it too. So if you did enjoy that, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment below, are you a last minute Annie too, and do you leave things to the last minute to create? I'm not normally, when it comes to the swaps, I'm normally on it because I don't want to let people down. I am last minute when it comes to things like making cards for people that matter. So actually I do have a card that I need to make today, and I've done 4 other projects instead of making it, so I need to get on with that. But yeah, so I am a last minute Annie on some things, not on others. So this is a bit unusual that I was so last minute on this particular type of project. It's subscribe if you want to see more. As I say, I have been filming quite a lot today, so there's a lot of videos to come once I get around to editing them. And I will see you next time. Until then,